Welcome back to another episode of Look What Jess Found. This is episode 855, and today's topic is going to be about what I used to call the bank run. Okay, the bank run. I also found, so I went to the bank yesterday, and this video is going to be about that experience. Probably one of the last ones, if not the last time I ever talk about this topic. I also got back a star note yesterday. It's a common star note. But I decided that all $1 star notes I'm gonna hold on to for now on. So that one goes. I have a little envelope now that I'm keeping, unless a low unless a valuable one, then I'll put it in its own holder. But for all the commons, they're gonna go into an envelope from now on. So yesterday I went to the bank. I did what I call a star run. If you've been keeping up with the channel, you know what I mean by a star run. A bank run. A bank run is when I go to the bank and I ask them for pennies. Nowadays I'm not doing that anymore. But yesterday I had to go to a bank to do to make a deposit. And while I was there, I said, let me ask for pennies. And right across the street from that bank is another one of my banks where they used to give me boxes. And let me tell you something. So I said, let me go walk across the street and ask them for pennies too. And both these ladies had the same exact expression on their face. Like if I walked into the bank and said, look, listen, can you do me a favor? I really need one of your kidneys. You know, can you, I know you have two. Can you please spare one for me? That's the look they gave me when I asked them if they had any pennies. Okay. So one bank didn't want to give me any. And I said, well, do you have any loose ones? And again, do you have a kidney you could spare? And she said, I could give you $1 or two. I said, well, if you give me $2, that would be great. And she gave me these $2. So thank you, two ladies, for giving me. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I know that they're getting instructions not to do this and not to give pennies out and whatever. But I also know that that people are still bringing them pennies, and they got tons of pennies in the back. They probably have more pennies now than they've ever had in history. And that's what gets me a little bit pissed off, is that I know they have a ton of pennies in the back. And, whatever. I guess if they gave out them, then they would just be giving out pennies all the time. So I guess that's the reason. So I understand, but, I have a channel based on friggin' pennies. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, this is what I got. And even though it's only $5 in pennies, I gotta tell you, it gets me a little excited. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so nostalgic to go. Because even back in the day, even going back 3 years, sometimes they didn't have pennies, and they said, "All I got is $2." That happened sometimes. It wasn't every time I went to a bank and they said, "How much do you want?" And I said, "How much do you got?" And they said, "We got as much as you want." And I said, "Give me everything." They said, "Here's $40." You know, here's $50, here's 20, here's 30, 40, 50, whatever. One time I got $90. I had a bucket. I had to come out with a bucket. And I hurt my back actually. $90 in pennies is super heavy. It was like a bag of cement in a bucket. Anyway, so for those of you out there who are new to the channel, or those of you out there who have not watched most or many of my videos, this is what it looks like when you get pennies from a bank run. Okay? This is what it looks like. And this is exactly what you want to see. We got bank wrapped. Now, these three, I bet you are from the same customer, right? They came from the same place. Let's see how they're, and this is how you do CSI. You can actually check out, boom. You see that? They're from the same person. Because people do it the same. It's like a fingerprint. How you crimp your ends of your penny roll. It's like a fingerprint. It's like a fingerprint. These are all from the same person. Okay. So we got these three from the same person. We got these four from the same bank. And then we have these two from the same person. Look at this with the tape on the bottom. With the tape, they both have the tape, so you know they're from the same person. You hardly ever see that, and if you see two from the same, it's from the same person. Now, could these three and these two be from the same person? Sure. And then we got da, da, da. Whoa, man! Bam, 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 bam! I cannot believe we have the vintage wrapper, man. It does look brand new. I gotta say, I don't know where they got this from. I hardly ever see the vintage wrapper that looks brand new like this. This is so bananas. Oh man, I just got to take a peek. It's got it. And now, so obviously the bank rolls came from a bank. Okay, it didn't come from a person. These all came from a person. Obviously, did they come from the same person? Who knows? Let me see. Does it have that? I don't know. I don't think it's the same person. No, I don't think it's the same person. And I just want to take a peek, see if the top penny is copper. That's all I want to see is the top penny copper. I think this has to be the one we do for this episode. Now, oh yeah, we got copper in here, right? I don't know. Whatever, we're gonna do it. So I'm gonna make this into a two-parter because I already spent 7 minutes. And look, this is the other skill that you'll learn is how to reclose. It's stupid, but how to reclose the end by, you have to have a very sensitive touch, and you could reclose it the same way it was originally closed, and that will give you that beautiful, vintage seal at the end. You gotta take your time and really be sensitive with your fingers and how you close it, and you can close it the same way you got it. All right, so let's put this away. These are going to be, I think I'm going to do these for the next whatever amount of episodes. And that way I know what they're from. We'll have something different. And I will put these, I'll put them over here on my side. And that way we know, I know what they are, I know what they are. And there they are. They're right on my side. Right down my side. So, okay. I hope that was a little bit of fun. Like I said, it could be the last time. I'm really not trying to do it. I really don't want to have to go to the bank and make deposits, to be honest with you. It means that I don't have enough money in the bank to cover my bills. Not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so, but if I do have to go to the bank, I'm gonna say, hey, do you have any pennies? I will. It's almost like a humbling experience, So anyway, please click like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Come back for part 2.